Okay, so let us go with set B of your activity sheets. So we have here the sum and the product of roots of a quadratic equation. So by the end of this learning activity sheets, you are expected to find the sum and product of roots of a quadratic equation, and also you are expected to determine the quadratic equation using the sum and product of the roots. So let us try to examine paano nga ba na-apply yung sum and product of the roots. So yung sum of the roots is equal to negative b over a. So this will be now the formula for sum of the roots. And then for the product of the roots, that is also equivalent to c over a. So pag sinabi natin sum, i-add nyo lang. Halimbawa ang roots ay 3 and 4, i-add nyo lang. So that will be 7. Pag naman sinabi natin product of the roots, kung meron kang 3 and 4, that will be 3 times 4, and that is 12. So yung 7 and 12 na yun yung 7 siya yung sum, which is also equivalent to negative b over a, and then yung product naman na 12, that is also equivalent to c over a of the quadratic equation. So let us now try to figure out what will be the sum of the roots of 2x squared minus 10x minus 35 equals to 0. So the value of b here is negative 10. So that will be negative times negative 10 because the original formula is negative b. So ipalit lang natin si negative 10 dun sa b. And then for our a is 2. And negative times negative is positive. So that will be 10 divided by 2, that is 5. So our sum, yung sum of roots natin ay 5 for number 1. And the product should be, ang c natin is negative 35, ang a natin ay 2. And negative 35 over 2 is improper fraction, and we can change this into mixed number, pero wag na natin siyang gawin. So as is na siya na negative 35 over 2. So for number 1, ang sum natin ay 5. Ang product natin is negative 35 over 2. For number 2, I have here x squared plus 16x plus 48 equals to 0. So our b here is 16. Our a is 1, and negative 16 divided by 1 is negative 16. For the product, I have here c, which is 48. A is 1. 48 divided by 1 is 48. So our sum for number 2 is negative 16, and product is 48. For number 3, our sum should be, ang value ng b natin is negative 13. So negative times negative is positive 13. Ang a natin ay 1. So 13. Ang sum ng number 3. For the product, we have c, which is 30, and 30 divided by 1, which is the value of a, that is 30. So our sum is 13 and the product is 30. So ganun po ang paghahanap ng sum and product. For the formula, for the sum of the roots, negative b over a. And for the product of the roots, that is c over a from the given quadratic equations. So now, balik rin natin. What if given yung root, papahanap naman sa atin yung quadratic equation? So ganito po ang gagawin natin. For number 1, let's say ang given is the sum and the product. Paano natin ma-generate yung 2x squared minus 10x minus 35 for number 1 na kung saan meron siyang sum na 5. Sum ng roots is 5 and the product is negative 35 over 2. So para ma-generate natin yung quadratic equation kapag ang given is sum and product of the roots, ganito lang gagawin natin. So ito yung pinaka-formula natin para ma-generate natin yung quadratic equation from the given sum of roots and product of roots. So x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots equals to 0. So ipapalit, isa-substitute lang natin sila dun sa equation na yan. So we have here the sum, which is 5, and the product is negative 35 over 2. So para ma-eliminate natin yung denominator na 2, multiply natin lahat ng terms by 2. So we have now 2 times x squared, that is 2x squared, 2 times negative 5x, negative 10x, and 2 times negative 35 is negative 70 divided by 2 is negative 35 equals to 0. So, ganun lang ang paggawa ng or paghanap ng quadratic equation from the given sum of roots and product of roots. Kailangan maipalit nyo lang siya dun sa equation na x squared minus sum of roots x plus product of roots equals to 0. Let us go with number 2. So, sa number 2, palitan natin si sum of roots ng negative 16 at si product of roots ng 48. And negative times negative is positive. So, magiging sagot natin is x squared plus 16x plus 48 equals to 0. So, ganun lang kadali yung number 2. So, number 3, we have x squared minus sum of roots plus product of roots. Ang sum natin is 13. Ang product natin is 30. So, magiging negative 13x plus 30 equals to 0. And that should be x squared minus 13x plus 30.